The thing that I'm the most impressed with, he moves out the pocket a little bit.
Jalen Hurts is not a big talker, but when he does speak,
Just did.
I mean, Johnny made a big-time catch today. Always good to see that. Just seeing him show up. You know, we all have some things we have to work on. He's got some things he needs to work on, but he's also taking advantage of some key opportunities and big-time moments, and so we just want to continue.
They say NFL quarterbacks don't toss out compliments like free samples at Costco. Yet here's Jalen Hurts eyeing Shedeur Sanders like he stumbled upon football's hidden cheat code. The praise feels almost biblical, like Shedeur just parted the Red Sea, or at least carved up the Cowboys' defense. But the real question lingers: is Hurts genuinely impressed, or quietly sizing up a future rival? Either way, the shoutout sparked instant buzz, leaving fans raising eyebrows and whispering, "Hold up, what's really happening here?"
I've got the leaked audio on everything Jalen Hurts said to Shedeur Sanders on the drive to the locker room.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe Shedeur Sanders to the channel. It helps more than you think. Jalen Hurts just crossed a line most NFL quarterbacks tiptoe around, breaking the unspoken code of never hype up the kid who might one day steal your spotlight. Instead of keeping it cool, Hurts went all in on Shedeur Sanders. He didn't just toss a compliment. He practically rolled out the red carpet, tossed confetti in the air, and handed Sanders a playbook titled "How to Be the NFL's Next Big Thing." If this were a film, Hurts would be the seasoned mentor, guiding the eager rookie through a dramatic training montage, sweat glistening in slow motion, football spiraling perfectly, and Sanders inching closer to that inevitable starring role as the league's future face.
I keep the conversation intimate. We had a very lengthy conversation. He came to me and just, wanted to talk. And I'm always there, as said earlier, giving my perspective on what I see and how I've gone about things.
Here's the thing about Jalen Hurts giving advice to Shedeur Sanders. It wasn't your standard work hard, stay humble, eat your veggies pep talk. Nope, Hurts went deeper. He supposedly gave Sanders actual scripted guidance, not on X's and O's, not on how to hit the weight room harder, but on how to master the art of image. We're talking media-savvy wisdom, the kind that shapes quarterbacks into polished, marketable brands. Because in today's NFL, throwing darts downfield is only half the job. The other half? Looking sharp, speaking with confidence, and convincing America you're not just playing, you're the league's future.
And ultimately, it takes a great deal of patience and hard work and a sense of resilience. You gotta want it. You gotta want it. And so I'm supporting him from where I am and wishing him nothing but the.
And Shedeur? He's already mastered half the equation. The swagger is there, the chains sparkle under the lights, the cameras trail him like he's filming a reality series, and his Instagram looks less like a college kid's feed and more like a Hollywood PR rollout. What Hurts gave him was the missing ingredient, the ability to sell the story. Hurts knows better than most that raw talent might get you drafted, but personality is what carves your name into NFL history. To be the face of the league, it's not enough to win games, you have to control the narrative.
I think we'll continue to build and continue to work through things. He came in a unique situation given right before the season, and so I've never thrown to him. And so I think he's become more suited and secure in his role, fitted in his.
Picture this, Jalen Hurts leaning in and telling Shedeur, every time you step on that field, people should feel like they're watching the start of something bigger than the game itself. Translation? Even if it's a meaningless preseason matchup against a team better known for its mascot than its players, you treat it like the Super Bowl. Every throw becomes a highlight reel, every grin doubles as a brand moment, and every post-game soundbite is engineered to trend online before you've even showered. This isn't checkers, it's chess. Hurts is essentially saying, you're not just a quarterback. You're a storyline, a headline, a 24/7 ESPN segment waiting to happen. And Shedeur? He's soaking it all up, because why wouldn't he? Hurts is handing him the blueprint to skip a few rungs on the NFL ladder. It's like walking into the toughest exam of your life with the answer key already tucked in your pocket.
So the press is going crazy because Super Bowl winning quarterback Jalen Hurts was seen conversing with Shedeur Sanders for a very long time during their joint practice today. And they all want to know what he was saying. Oh, what was he saying?
The NFL isn't just about winning games anymore. It's about commanding attention, winning over fans, and cashing in on the endorsement deals that turn stars into household names. That's why some people are starting to question Jalen Hurts' praise of Shedeur Sanders. Is this pure generosity or something a little more strategic? Imagine the angle. If Hurts helps shape Shedeur's image now, then when Sanders ascends as the league's next superstar, Hurts can point back and say, yeah, I had a hand in that. But let's be honest, when you elevate someone else, you inevitably raise the level of your own competition. Picture it, 3 years down the road, Hurts and Sanders squaring off in an NFC Championship game, and Hurts thinking, probably shouldn't have taught you that camera-ready spin move. Still, Hurts understands something bigger. The NFL survives on stars, and the league always needs new faces.
They saw what they had seen in college at Colorado. A man that understands how to play in pressure situations. Very few people would stand up and speak up and say, you know, I was absolutely wrong. He outran the defensive line and got around the corner because people said he couldn't run.
Tom Brady's gone, Aaron Rodgers is halfway to becoming a full-time podcaster, and Patrick Mahomes can't carry every single NFL commercial on his back forever. The NFL needs young stars who can play lights-out football and give fans something to talk about Monday morning. And if Hurts sees Shedeur as the guy, you better believe he's going to make sure the kid is ready for the spotlight. Let's not pretend Shedeur needs a ton of polishing, though. The man is already operating like he's got his own PR department. He doesn't just play games, he curates moments. The shades, the chains, the sideline smirk, it's all part of the package. And Hurts is just making sure he fine-tunes that package so it's bulletproof when the NFL machine gets a hold of him. Because once you're in the league, every word you say gets dissected, every photo gets analyzed, and every sneeze turns into a breaking news segment if it happens at the wrong time.
I was like, that ain't none of y'all business. But I'm going to tell y'all what they were saying. So it was in this moment where Jalen Hurts said, bruh, we all know you better than every last one of them quarterbacks on your squad. And the world got to see it over the week.
Hurts also probably told him the golden rule of being the NFL's face: you never, ever let them catch you slipping. You can throw 3 interceptions in a game, but if you give a flawless post-game speech about how you're going to bounce back, the narrative flips in your favor. Fans will forgive almost anything if you sell it right. This is why Shedeur is dangerous, in a good way. He's already a high-level talent, and now he's getting the off-field playbook from someone who's been there, done that, and bought the designer hoodie. You know, the league is already rubbing its hands together like a movie producer seeing the perfect sequel falling into place. They love this stuff. Veteran star mentoring rising star, both charismatic, both photogenic, both able to drop a quote that lives rent-free in sports fans' heads. It's marketing gold.
Is now being called sabotage. Cleveland doesn't want him to succeed. Shedeur Sanders has been with the Browns through OTAs, rookie minicamp, and training camp. He knows the playbook, the head coach, the coordinator, and his teammates. And because he only gets one practice with the ones, it's sabotage.
The funniest part? You just know somewhere, some other quarterback is watching all this and muttering under his breath, Hurts never gave me advice. And that's because Hurts can smell potential. He knows Shedeur isn't just going to be another guy in the league. He's going to be a headline generator, a jersey seller, and the guy who makes defenses lose sleep. And when he does, Hurts can sit back and say, yep, I helped build that. If Shedeur plays his cards right, this Hurts mentorship could be the first chapter in a long NFL saga. The kind they'll make documentaries about in 20 years, the one where the established star handed the torch to the next big thing, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. And that's rare in sports. It wasn't just a football moment. It was a cosmic shift in NFL history. The kind of thing that will one day be turned into a slow-motion NFL film's highlight with dramatic orchestral music and Morgan Freeman narrating. And that's when it began, the rise of the new face of the league.
Can't run like his dad. Can't no damn body run like his dad. And let me tell you how I know. Stop with all of that now. He holds on to the ball too long. Remember that old stuff coming out? And I said, well, we can switch that and just say he stares down the barrel.
But this wasn't your standard good job, kid from a veteran. Hurts went beyond that. He gave Shedeur what I call the quarterback starter pack 2.0, the next level blueprint for not just surviving in the NFL, but owning it like you're collecting rent. Who knows what Hurts probably told him, because you know this wasn't just small talk in the locker room. Hurts is a meticulous guy. He probably had bullet points. Maybe even a PowerPoint presentation. Hurts knows that in 2025, you don't just win games. Shedeur already has the dramatic flair. Hurts just told him how to weaponize it. Hurts didn't have to say this out loud, he just had to point at Mahomes, Burrow, and even old man Brady on TikTok. Shedeur can already throw a 40-yard dime, but Hurts probably told him, that's great, but can you make it trend on Instagram before you take your helmet off? Because being the face of the NFL isn't just about stats. It's about making people care. A random Tuesday workout video can get more views than some regular season games if you frame it right.
Can we keep it a bean, dog? He shouldn't have been no 5th round pick, dog. He should not have been a 5th round pick. Now, he plays on the Browns. I'm a Steelers fan, so him.
Hurts has mastered this. Win or lose, he walks into the press conference looking like he just stepped out of a GQ shoot and drops quotes that make reporters stop typing mid-sentence. He probably told Shedeur that your post-game words matter as much as your on-field play. The NFL doesn't just remember the quarterback who won, it remembers the quarterback who sold the win. And that's where it gets interesting. Shedeur's got the confidence, the swagger, the media awareness, but Hurts is giving him the polish. Think of it like a rapper with raw talent meeting a veteran producer who knows exactly how to turn a street freestyle into a platinum record. Now, some fans are already screaming, Hurts is making a monster. And honestly? Yeah. He is. But in the NFL, monsters are exactly what keep the lights on. Think about it, Brady's sipping cocktails on his yacht. Rodgers is halfway to becoming a full-time conspiracy theory blogger. Russell Wilson is still stuck in whatever weird Mr. Unlimited motivational speech loop he's in. The NFL needs someone young, magnetic, and dangerous both on the field and in the headlines. Shedeur fits that bill perfectly.
Shedeur Sanders mania is 1000% real. The very first jersey that I saw walking up to the stadium was a Shedeur Sanders Cleveland Browns jersey. I'm in Charlotte, right? Where the Panthers are playing.
But here's the spicy part. Hurts giving Shedeur this kind of inside game is like a magician teaching another magician all his tricks, while knowing they might end up on the same stage. That takes either insane confidence or a long-term 4D chess plan. Some people think Hurts is building his own rival for the drama. Let's face it, sports history loves a great rivalry. Brady had Manning. Rodgers had, okay, Rodgers mostly had himself, but still. Hurts might be thinking ahead, if I'm going to face someone in a Super Bowl one day, it might as well be a guy I helped create. That way, no matter what happens, I'm part of the legend. It's bigger, hotter, and way more unforgiving. One wrong comment can turn you from the future to the meme. Hurts is probably telling him how to sidestep every trap. Let's be honest, Shedeur doesn't strike me as the type to play it safe, and that's exactly why Hurts likes him. Safe quarterbacks don't become the face of the league. The face of the league is the guy people love or hate so much they can't stop talking about him. And with Hurts' guidance, Shedeur's about to become unavoidable.
Doing well, it's like, do I really want to see him? Not really. I'm rooting for the brother though. I'm rooting for him. Probably one Cleveland Brown player I root for. But 14 of 23, 138 passing yards, 2 TDs. He missed a couple throws here and there. I was like, damn, Shedeur, really? You missed that? You missed that throw? But he made some really nice, calm, collected throws. He looks like an NFL quarterback. He does.
I can picture the behind-the-scenes conversation. Hurts telling him to control the tempo of the narrative like he controls the tempo of a drive. If things go bad, you slow it down and focus on discipline. If things go great, you keep your foot on the gas and make sure the world knows about it before the final whistle even blows. This is how you turn hype into legacy. And if you think Hurts is just being nice for the cameras, think again. Hurts doesn't hand out praise like free samples at Costco. If he's talking you up, it's because he sees something real. Which means Shedeur isn't just good for his age, he's already operating at a level where NFL vets can see him stepping in and owning the stage from day one. It's not just about how many touchdowns he throws, it's about whether he looks like the guy while doing it. The NFL loves storylines like this. Rookie to be mentored by one of the league's top quarterbacks. Every broadcast will have a split screen of Hurts on the sideline and Shedeur on the field, with commentators drooling over the torch being passed.
Just finishing and continue to take advantage of those good position plays where he's in position to make a play. And so as a quarterback, I want to help him out and put him in those positions and obviously on their end finishing.
Now, I know what you're thinking, what if this backfires? Well, that's the beauty of it. Even if it does, the drama is worth it. If Shedeur becomes the face of the NFL, Hurts gets to claim some credit. If Shedeur somehow flops, Hurts still gets to say, "Hey, I tried to help the kid, that's on him." Either way, Hurts walks away clean, and the league gets months of content out of it. And here's my favorite part, Hurts giving Shedeur script advice might literally mean he told him how to handle every single post-game moment like it's a scene in a blockbuster. If Shedeur just threw a game-winning pass, he knows exactly how to smile, exactly how to pause for the cameras, and exactly when to drop that perfectly vague "we're just getting started" line. If he throws 3 picks? Same thing, a calm, measured statement that makes him sound like the comeback is inevitable. Hurts is making sure Shedeur creates that same feeling from day one. The more I think about it, the more I realize Hurts might have just changed the NFL without anyone noticing. This isn't a normal mentor moment. This is a calculated passing of knowledge from one brand-savvy, spotlight-owning quarterback to another. And if it works? The NFL is about to have one of the most entertaining young stars in decades.
And I am seeing Shedeur Sanders Browns, Shedeur Sanders Colorado, Coach Prime Colorado gear everywhere. I expected there to be a lot of attention paid on Shedeur Sanders, and even I was surprised by how much attention was paid on that game on Friday night.
And you know who's quietly panicking right now? Every single PR department for every other quarterback in the league. You can practically hear the conference calls and emergency marketing meetings happening behind closed doors. Because if Shedeur actually takes Jalen Hurts' advice, locks in, and nails it, suddenly every other team's franchise guy starts looking, well, a little bland. And bland doesn't move merch. Bland doesn't get you primetime slots. Bland quarterbacks don't sell jerseys to kids who want to feel like they're buying a piece of the future. So yeah, there's a real possibility that Hurts just created his own future rival. The kind who'll be standing on the other sideline in a playoff game 10 years from now, eyes locked, stadium shaking, cameras eating it up. This feels like the opening scene of a sports documentary we're going to binge watch in 2035. The kind where they cut to black and white footage of that moment and say, "This is when it all began." The NFL better get ready, because the Shedeur Sanders show just went into production, and Jalen Hurts didn't just give a cameo. He signed on as executive producer.